Finest is finally here in MLB The Show 23 Diamond Dynasty. And I gotta say, a lot of it is very good. Some of it is pretty underwhelming. But there's a lot to be excited about, a lot to grind. So let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is the XP reward path. So if we go here on the 97s, Anthony Volpe got a finest card as a Yankees fan. Love to see it. Obviously not going to be that good of a card. High power. It's just cool to see as a Yankees fan. Tanner Beebe. I'm going to run through these 97s really fast because no one really cares. And they're 97s. There's Spencer Torkelson, Zach Geloff. Okay, pretty good against righties. Brooks Raley. This is going to be a nice reliever. Slurve, sinker, cutter, circle change, lefty. Ryan McMahon. MLB The Show 21. GOAT right here. Patrick Bailey, very good against lefties, pretty terrible against righties, but really good defensively. Moving on to the bosses, we have a Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 112, 125, 119, 102 with 115 clutch. Defenses in silver. He is a solid arm. We have Randy Arozarena, overall just a very good hitter, 112 contact versus both sides, 125 for power left, discipline, and clutch. Goal defense, very good speed. Cal Raleigh, really good power hitting catcher, switch hitter, and he actually has good contact, which I'm surprised about for Cal Raleigh cards. Insane defense as well. Ellie De La Cruz got a finest card, didn't really expect it, but hey, it's sick. I mean, maxed out against righties, okay against lefties, clutch is a little lower though, but great defense and speed. And then Jesus Luzardo, four-seam sinker, slider, circle change, cutter. I wish the hits per nine in the clutch was a little higher, but everything else on this card is very good. I mean, control, break, velocity, pitch mix, amazing. And then there's one more card in the XP reward path. If you come all the way down to 435,000 XP, we have a 99 overall, 40-70 Ronald Acuna Jr., 123 contact versus lefties, maxed out contact right and clutch. Defense is insane. It's diamond, maxed out arm. Of course, his speed and stealing is going to be insane. He stole 73 bases, and his power is very good at 115 for both. I'm very happy they gave it a milestone Acuna card, and for him to be in the XP reward path is even cooler. Moving on to the online modes, let's start with ranked seasons. So we have a new ranked season, if it could not lag. Here are the World Series rewards. Again, I mean, not really motivated to play ranked to get a 99 Josh Lowe. I mean, not a horrible card, but not good against lefties. Blake Snell, maxed out hits per nine in clutch, four-seam slurve, circle change slider, two-seam. Control is, not that good on this card. And then Dansby Swanson, like, it's a cool card. Maxed out fielding and reaction, great power. I just, I don't know. These cards are a little underwhelming for ranked seasons. Let's go through the henchmen. We have an Alexis Diaz, slider, four-seam sinker. So no outlier, but yeah. And then we have a Nolan Schonel, is that how you say his name? This was the rookie that they drafted, and then he came up a week later. I mean, but this card is just trash. I'm sorry, he just is. For wild card, we have a 97 Luis Castillo. I mean, cool, I guess. Ian Happ, also cool, I guess. And then in pennant race, we have a Freddie Peralta. I mean, nothing too spectacular. Andrew Vaughn, pretty good against righties. One thing to note, though, in the program, we have rewind packs, so we can start to get these rewind cards, and they're sellable too, and you get two of them. So if you go here, you can get two ranked season rewinds, and they said it's going to be the same thing in BR. Now for the finest event, 2023 finest Captain Live Series sets, core, set 4, and set 5. They gave us a finest Tyler Rogers, which is pretty hilarious because he's a submariner. Sinker, slider, four-seam, 24 velocity. That might be the lowest velo I've ever seen on a diamond card. But it's Tyler Rogers. Obviously, it makes sense. Control and break are there. Sinker, slider, four-seam. I don't really know how good that card's going to be. We have an event rewind pack right here. And then we have a Jose Ramirez. This is insanely disappointing. 96, 92 for those two stats. Really? On a Jose Ramirez card where we already have a 99, that's insane from the All-Star game. And to grind 20 wins for that, I find incredibly underwhelming. And the 12-win streak reward is going to be Kodai Senga. This card is very good. So if we go to the Mets, and we go to set 5, I'll just do set 5. Kodai Senga, this is the 12-win streak reward. Four-seam cutter, forkball, slider, slurve. Control could be a little better. Break is very good, but everything else is great. Maxed out per nines. This is a good card. Now for Team Affinity, there have been some changes. There all 99s now. So the bosses are 99s and the henchmen are 99s, and we have captains. So that's obviously nice. I obviously I don't have enough time to go through every single card. I'll probably make a separate video. Not going to be for a little bit, just because I don't really have as much time. But you know, I'll just go over a couple. Like for the Yankees, Lou Gehrig, captain right there. For the that's captain, and then retro finest. I mean, I guess what I'll do is I'll go through all the cards, but I'm not going to show the attributes. I'll show the attributes of the bosses. So we'll start with the AL East right here. So for the AL East captains, we have Brian Roberts, Cy Young, Lou Gehrig, Tyler Glasnow, Marcus Stroman. Like I said earlier, just go in the game and look at the attributes. Eddie Murray, Jason Bate, Don Mattingly, Mike Zunino. I have to show the attributes. This card is insane. And Tom Henke. And then for the bosses, Felix Bautista. This card is disgusting. Control and break, amazing. Rafael Devers, insane hitting. I mean, there's not one thing he can't do. Aaron Judge, basically the same. Obviously, contact, clutch, and vision are going to be lower because it's Aaron Judge. Yandy Diaz, yeah, the power versus righty is a little low. And then Kevin Gausman, the per-nines are a little low, but obviously not that bad. For the AL Central, the captains, we have Jose Quintana, Emmanuel Clase, Spencer Torkelson, Danny Duffy, and Justin Morneau. For the henchmen, we got Louis Aparicio, Larry Doby, Tony Clark, George Brett, and Jim Thome. So these cards are pretty solid. And then for the bosses, we have Luis Robert. Why did they have to ruin this card, man? Just juice up the vision, discipline, and clutch. Who cares? It's set 5. It doesn't have to be actually accurate on a season. Could you imagine if vision and discipline were like 95 and 92 and then this clutch was like 105? Like, come on. That really annoys me because I was really looking forward to that card. Stephen Kwan, high contact vision and clutch and defense, not good power. Eduardo Rodriguez, four-seam cutter, circle change, sinker, slider. Control's there, break is there. Okay. Bobby Witt Jr., 103, 116, 101, 115, 111 clutch. Discipline is 69. Nice. But, nothing too spectacular. And then Yuan Duran, four-seam splitter, 12-6 slider, control break, pretty good. Obviously, outlier on the four-seam and the splitter. Honestly, outside of Duran, this division is kind of trash. For the AL West, captains, Yordan Alvarez, Reed Detmers, David he played for the A's? I didn't know that. Logan Gilbert, and Nathan Eovaldi. Moving on to the henchmen, we have Roy Oswalt, Cole Calhoun, Catfish Hunter, Raul Ibanez, and I have to show you guys Mike Napoli because you guys know how much I love Mike Napoli cards. This is going to be my starting catcher for a while. I mean, this card is insane. Moving on to the bosses, Jose Altuve, very good against righties, very good against lefties. Overall, just a great hitter. Mike Trout, like this annoys me. 93 clutch on Mike Trout, that annoys me a lot. Brent Rooker, this card is a beast, although he only has 88 clutch and 78 vision. Hitting alone, though, outside of those, is a beast. JP Crawford, very good across the board, except power versus lefties. It's good enough at 93. And then Nathaniel Lowe, overall, great hitter, gold defense as well. Moving on to the NL East, we have Sean Murphy, Luzardo, who also has a finest, McNeil, Richie Ashburn, and Hunter Harvey as the captains. Retro finest, Gary Sheffield, I have to show you this one. I mean, just disgusting card. AJ Burnett, Michael Conforto, Jimmy Rollins, and Adam Dunn. Moving to the bosses, we have Spencer Strider, four-seam slider, circle change. The pitch mix kind of hurts him. Good outlier, or has outlier though. Jazz Chisholm, this card is just terrible. I mean, how is this a finest 99 in Team Affinity? Francisco Lindor, lower contact versus righties, which hurts him, but everything else is good except for the arm. Trey Turner, overall, great card. I mean, not one thing he can't really do. And then CJ Abrams is atrocious versus lefties. Discipline clutch, not good at all. For the NL Central, we have Ryan Sandberg, Mike Cameron, Freddie Peralta, Bill Mazeroski, and Giovanni Gallegos. Moving on to Retro Finest, we have Billy Williams, Ken Griffey Sr., Paul Molitor, Jameson Taillon, and Matt Holliday. And then for the bosses, we have Justin Steele, very solid card, great control, pretty good break, good pitch mix. Matt McClain, maxed out versus lefties, okay versus righties, vision and discipline pretty low. Corbin Burns, this card is very good. The clutch hurts him though. Great control, great break, obviously a good pitch mix. David Bednar, his cards are never really that good just because he doesn't have a good pitch mix. But I mean, on paper, he's very good. And then Nolan Gorman, this card is a beast. His swing is amazing, maxed out power and discipline, very high clutch as well. For the NL West, the last division of Team Affinity for captains, we have Merrill Kelly, Justin Lawrence, Evan Phillips, Xander Bogaerts, and Monty Irvin. Moving to Retro Finest, Robbie Ray, Todd Helton, Yasmani Grandal, Jake Peavy, and Brandon Belt. And then for the bosses, we have Zach Gallen, who's overall, not that insane. The per nines you'd wish would be a little higher, the velocity the same, but everything else is good. Nolan Jones, this is a beast of a hitter, low vision, maxed out arm strength and accuracy. This is a nice card. Freddie Freeman, this is a very good card. Hitting, not one bad thing. Defense is very good as well. Also has pretty good stealing. That's kind of cool. Ha-Sung Kim, 96 clutch, 93 power versus righties is lower. Everything else is good. And then Logan Webb, change-up primary. Interesting. Change-up, sinker, slider, four-seam. No cutter on Logan Webb. Moving to the show shop, we have even more finest players. We have a finest choice pack. Francisco Alvarez, a beast. Very good hitting catcher. Maxed out power, great clutch. Devin Williams, maxed out per nines and clutch. Control is there, break is there. If only they just made him a diamond life series. Those two cards are the rare round. These cards are the base tier. George Kirby, great pitch mix, bad per nines though. Great clutch though, or control. Jake Berger, cool to see him get a finest. Maxed out power versus both sides, high contact. Clutch helps him, it hurts him a little. Evan Phillips, this card is going to be cheap too. This is an insane reliever, slurve, cutter, four-seam sinker. This is a very good card. And that's it for the finest pack. Moving on to the show packs. There is it's like the Kaiju Takeover, but for one card, and it's this 99 O'Neal Cruz, who has maxed out power and arm strength and speed and aggressiveness. And he's honestly not that bad contact-wise. Clutch is a little lower. For the chase pack, we have Reggie Jackson. Probably the worst chase card we've had. Not like horrible. Obviously, this is a great card, but I'm not going to be ripping a ton of packs for this card. Great versus right. Maxed out righties and clutch. Very good against lefties. Good defense and speed. But it's just like, I don't know. It doesn't blow you out of the water. And lastly, for collections in Team Affinity Season 5, I'm just going to run through this. At 20, you get this Pete Alonso, who has maxed out power and clutch. And his contact isn't even that bad for a Pete Alonso card. Emmanuel Clase, cutter, slider, four-seam, control and break is very good. Outlier on the cutter, of course. The per nines are great. Ryan Reynolds, 99 overall. Switch hitting card, 112, 125, 121, 104, 104, 100, 125. This card is gross. Gleyber Torres, love to see this as a Yankees fan. Was shocked that he was even a finest card. He had an amazing season, don't get me wrong, but it was just so cool to see. Maxed out versus lefties and clutch. His swing is butter in this game. And then for completing Team Affinity, you get this Cody Bellinger. 122 contact versus righties, maxed out versus lefties and clutch. The discipline, 93. That's fine. Defense is insane though. Good speed as well. We also have a new core collection. Just going to go through this really quickly. I already did it. Just collect 250 for this Ozzy Albies, 99 overall switch hitter. 106, 125, 119, 101, 122 clutch. Great defense as well. And then for the set 5 collection, the henchman. At 50, you get this 99 Tanner Scott, slider, four-seam sinker, lefty. He does not have outlier, but he has maxed out velo. Control and breaker there. Pitch mix is pretty good. It's good for a lefty. Hits per nine and clutch, amazing. At 75, we have a retro finest J.R. Richard. Slider, four-seam, cutter, two-seam, but the pitch mix kind of ruins him. But everything else is great. He is an outlier on the slider. Isaac Paredes at 120 cards. Maxed out power versus righties and clutch. All across the board. Great hitter. And he has good defense. Tim Raines at 150 cards. Really high contact. Vision, discipline, and clutch is maxed. All the speed is maxed. The defense is great. And then for the bosses in the set 5 collection pack, we have Bo Bichette. Maxed out contact, vision, and clutch. Defense is great, surprisingly, for Bo Bichette. Good power, too. William Contreras, maxed out almost all across the board. This card is disgusting. 102, 101, 108 for the stats that aren't maxed, and he's a diamond defender. And then we have a Shohei Ohtani, of course. Slur, four-seam cutter, splitter, sinker. Control is good for an Ohtani card. It's basically the same cards that we've had before, just a little better. Insane hitting as well. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe down here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.